Hi, my name is Ayrton Mutagana, and behind me is a B5 Audi A4, a car heralded by enthusiasts as being one of the best driver's cars Audi has ever produced. Today, we're going to find out whether or not that's true.
Now, at this point, it's probably worth mentioning that this isn't just any B5 Audi A4. It's my B5 Audi A4. Now, while most of the work I've put into this example has been attending to the list of maintenance items neglected by the previous owner, I've also made a few modifications, such as a set of 18-inch RS6 style alloy wheels, StopTech stainless steel front brake lines, and most notably, a gearbox from a 2.8 liter car with longer gearing.
Alright, so the Audi A4 B5. First, some specs. So this particular example has a 1.8 liter turbocharged engine with 5 valves per cylinder. Now, you don't really see this that often anymore, but Audi was really excited about this in the mid-90s. 5 valves per cylinder is really something you only saw on really high-end cars, such as like the Ferrari 355. And basically, what that allows you to do is optimize the amount of real estate you have on the cylinder head. Now, the downside to this is it's really expensive to manufacture cylinder heads with 5 valves per cylinder. So that's why they eventually stopped. The newer A4s have 4 valves per cylinder. So this engine makes about 150 brake horsepower, 150 foot-pounds of torque, and it has a fairly small turbo on it. So the lag, I mean, it's not too bad, but nothing really happens below 2.5, 3,000 RPMs. So this car has pretty nice steering. It's fairly light. It doesn't have a lot of feel, unfortunately, but it's very accurate. You can point the car and it goes exactly where you want to point it. And when you take this car closer to the limit, you'll find that on turn-in, the car has a ton of grip as well. It really only starts to break away around mid-corner. As far as the gear change, the gearbox doesn't really have that much life to it in terms of the quality of the shift. You know, it just kind of like slides in and out of gear. It doesn't really have a tactile feel to it. And that's something that you want in a manual car. Around town, it's really nice, but when you're on back roads like this, you kind of feel like something's missing. But yeah, the gear change is really lackluster, and that's something that disappointed me. I mean, yeah, you can improve that with a short shift kit, but I mean, still out of the box, it's not the greatest.
Now, where this car lacks in feel from its inputs, it makes up the difference in its driving dynamics. The car is very willing to change direction, and on corner entry, it feels very planted. If you really push the car, you'll find that it'll begin to understeer at around mid-corner to exit. But unless you're in extreme conditions, this is a limit you'll almost never find unless you take the car to a circuit. On the road, the car feels incredibly neutral.
The car has 159,775 miles on it, and I mean, there's not really any squeaks or rattles. It's in pretty good shape. You can see the headliner sagging right there a little bit. That's really the only thing in the interior that's kind of gone wrong. And the armrest broke, but the previous owner said that he broke that. So, I mean, these cars hold up really nicely. The interiors are nice. If you look at the newer A4s, the B8s, you can see that there's sort of like this curvature to the dash in this car, and the B8 kind of borrows that design a little bit too. This car is aged really well inside, and I think it really shows in how well it's held up and how it doesn't look so dated.
So, we've established that the B5 Audi A4 is a refined, well-aged car that, despite its engine hanging over the front axle, has the ability to corner quickly and put a smile on your face, rather than understeer into the nearest tree. So does that make this a driver's car? No. The inputs are too numb, and the engine, while very tunable and efficient, lacks the sharpness and smooth power band one would expect from a quote-unquote driver's car. That said, however, the B5 is still a great car, a happy medium between comfy daily driver and fun backroad blaster. Very seldom do you find yourself in a situation where you feel like you're in the wrong car when driving the A4. It's the car for every occasion.